morning, and welcome to Wake Up with the Early Nerd Live. I'm your host, Steve, the Early Nerd. And as always, I'm talking quietly because if we wake up Mrs. Early Nerd, then we're all in trouble. So, yesterday, a friend of mine came over and we watched that new Owen Wilson movie, Paint. Um, and I'm going to review it real quick for you guys. I'll keep it spoiler free for the most part. Um, so the story centers around a public television station in Vermont, and Owen Wilson plays a character named Carl Nargle, who is very loosely based on Bob Ross. Okay, this movie has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with Bob Ross or his company or his show or anything else like that. It is not a life story. It is not a documentary of any kind. It's not a biopic either. Okay. They just took the basically they just took the painter and made a completely different story about him. Um, he he's on a public television station in Vermont, and he's been on there for a long time. And um, he paints a picture every day, and people watch it. He's like a state treasurer, as they call him, a couple of times in the movie. Uh, he talks very quietly all the time. He never raises his voice or anything like that. Um, he he has a PA system in his car so he can, or in his van, so he can talk to people outside of his vehicle without having to raise his voice. It's it was an interesting movie, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Um, there's a lot of places where it's funny. Uh, there's let's see, Stephen Root plays the station manager, and of course, Stephen Root. He's hilarious. He's a great comedian, great actor. Love that guy. Uh, Owen Wilson is, Owen Wilson. He's he's himself. He's funny. He's real good in this too. I loved it. Um, Most everyone else in the movie's names I did not recognize, nor their faces. So, but uh, but it kind of centers around the fact that a new painter comes. The station hires a new painter who who's young, female. She's a different kind of painter. She paints, well, for lack of a better way to put it, although it's not really weird things, you know. Whereas Owen Wilson, he paints, pretty much the same thing every time. He paints a mountain. Every painting, he paints a mountain, and so this new painter shows up, and and of course, there ends up being competition and all that good stuff. But I don't want to go too far into it because I don't want to spoil it. Especially if you're going to watch it. But I did like it. Um, I thought that uh, the production went well. The story moved along at a brisk pace, and I enjoyed that. And the story also resolved itself in a way that I thought was pretty cool, and uh, there were some really funny moments. Um, there's one particular scene which I don't want to give away too much, but Owen Wilson gets visibly frustrated, and and he begins throwing a bunch of paint around. And but I'm not going to go any further into that because you're just going to have to see that, because as far as I'm concerned, that's one of the funniest parts in the whole movie, honestly. So, in my opinion, it is definitely worth a watch. Um, I uh, I enjoyed it, and I think you will too if you choose to watch it. So it's Paint by Owen, or with Owen Wilson and Stephen Root. Um, Check it out. There we go. Now, excuse me. Now, as far as everything else is concerned, today's video is going to be short. It is a bit warm in the studio. I don't want to be out here too long, and I didn't want to turn on the air conditioner for obvious noise. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it short today, and go back inside and get ready to go to work. For those of you out there that have somewhere to go today, be it work or be it wherever it is on this fine Thursday morning, remember, always be safe, be careful out there. I have game tonight. Yay. It'll be fun. Um, it'll be a lot of fun, I think. Um, be safe, be careful out there, and always remember, Early Nerd loves you. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye bye now.